Good morning, everybody. My friends and I this morning are going to take you on a bit of a garden tour because it's almost like mid-July. And my gardening season has been less than spectacular. Not a ton of time and energy has gone into kind of maintenance. Brian has been doing a lot of the work this year. And to be quite honest, mosquitoes are bad today. I've just not been really feeling it this year. So I've been doing some things, but not at the level that I have in previous years. And I'm surprised actually, because I was really looking forward to the gardening season, but now that it is upon me, I think I'm just getting more frustrated than anything. So, I mean, it is what it is. Things are growing. Some things are not. But my little posse here. Hey, you guys are super cute. Okay, so let's start with the front beds. In our front bed here, we've got sunflowers, a ton of volunteer cilantro, oregano, and zinnias. I did plant rosemary down in there. See it? But yeah, like kind of not caring, but these zinnias are beautiful. It looks like I need to weed that corner. I came through and I weeded and I stopped right here, as you can see. So I got to get in there and weed because there's grass. I don't care so much about the cilantro, but I do care about the grass. And all of my other volunteer cilantro has gone to seed. Got some borage. Holy man, does that stuff self-seed like 9-0. In this bed, these are the strawberries, and I did nothing with them, as you can see. So I might rip them out this year. I cleared them out of that garden bed, but Sage is kicking it over there. Also noteworthy, we have lots of apples this year, which is nice. I think they all have apple maggot because I don't spray them or treat them or anything, but at least we can feed them to the deer. All right, bed number 1. Brian's carrots are off to the races. They look fantastic. So he did 3 sowings, as you can see, and they look really great. He has to maybe do a little thinning here, but that's what happens when you pass it off to Mr. Saxon. He does a great job. I left those 2 borage plants, and I probably should have ripped them out, and I might still do that because there is a lot in here. But I wanted to give something or leave something actually for the pollinators. Kale is doing wonderfully. Oh, look at this. Ouch. I haven't weeded in here either, which as much as I should have. So that was not good. Okay, rhubarb is as giant as it always is. But the kale's doing really well. Kohlrabi, I got a harvest. That one is definitely ready, as is that one. We're having friends for dinner tomorrow night, so maybe have a volunteer tomato, which I've never left, so that's kind of exciting. All right, so this bed here was the lettuce bed, and so I just chopped it all off, and I could probably harvest. Let's see if it's bitter. Ah, it's pretty nice. No, it's bitter. Gross. Okay. So don't do that. But this is where I sowed the beans from my friend Melissa. So these are the, what were they called? Lumberjack beans. So they are dry beans. So that's kind of cool. I've got a Brussels sprout plant that was left over that I popped in here. Some dill growing. So I do have to weed in here today. So that's hopefully what I'm going to do if I don't get sidetracked, which happens on the regular. And I had some spinach in here, which bolted and I kind of just cut off. Volunteer sunflower that I couldn't cut back. I couldn't put weed. I wanted to leave it. I have a ton of peas that are beyond. Really, I will harvest those today and get them in the fridge and do something with them. I did plant purple potted in here, and they're really struggling. The purple potted green beans or string beans or whatever they're called in here. and they are really struggling. So that's interesting. This side too, although this side always grows better. I think it's just because they get more sunlight. Obviously the peas are blocking the sunlight, but it's pretty cool. Like my peas are about 5 feet tall. Yeah, so I got to do that today. This is my pepper bed, and I already have, where did I see? I already have some jalapenos. Got to get this borage out of here. So yeah, that's kind of fun. Yeah, so they're not doing too bad. Tulip, no. Oh, she's waiting for one. She's waiting for a snack. Good girl. I just put some zinnias here for some color. I have some calendula that I left. This is volunteer seeded from last year. Here's some volunteer plants, or volunteer beans. Nasturtium, another volunteer tomato plant. I'm pretty sure that is Midnight Snack. A zinnia left over that I popped in here, volunteer calendula. My melons that are getting ravaged by striped cucumber beetle. The striped cucumber beetle have been off the charts this year. I thought by starting bigger plants I'd be okay, but that was not the case. So hopefully we get something because they're not looking too great. I got 2 zucchini plants, and happily I do have a zucchini coming here. But as you can see, the striped cucumber beetles are just rocking it. Look at that flower, like it's just decimated. I pulled the covers off of these. I planted some marigolds because I was hoping, like, look at this. Look at them all in there. Ugh. And I don't like to squish them because I want stuff to get pollinated. So at this point, we're just letting her go and hoping for the best. I've also been squishing squash bug eggs and squash bugs. Here's some volunteer lettuce. Yeah, it's just a hodgepodge this year. These are the cabbage, and they are still under cover. We do have a lot of earwigs again this year, but you can see this one here. I'll stick my arm under, is starting to head up, which is really good. So this is an early variety, so I'll be able to harvest that soon and make some sauerkraut out of it. So I'm pretty excited about that because I've struggled. Like here, this one too is starting to head up. That's nice and firm. So I'm not going to let them go too long. I'm actually going to harvest them early so that they're not all damaged by insects. Touch wood. The cabbage loopers haven't been horrendous this year. They could still be coming, but I've got all of my other brassicas uncovered, and they've been doing really nicely so far. We've eaten broccoli so far, which has been really nice. I made a nice venison stir fry with peanut sauce with the snap peas and broccoli the other night. It was beauty. So these are the... Good morning, little wren. Look at the little wren up there. Oh, man. I just haven't spent enough time in here this year. It's just... I get a little emotional. Because sometimes I don't slow down enough to enjoy these moments, birds, and I'm hard on myself in the garden, and I have to be a little less so. But anyways, these are the Brussels sprouts, and they are doing really well. So pulled the cover off, mostly so the borage could go, but also these plants got really tall last year, and so I didn't want them to get squished by the cover. And then on the end here, I've got some zinnias, and I also have these are the Cherokee Trail of Tears, so they are going to make it, which is really great. They're the beans that I really want to be, do well this year. Here's some more sweet peas. I'll have to harvest them. On the back side, I do have, these are Trail of Tears as well. So I might have to leave the pea plants because they've started to trellis on them. These are the sweet potatoes that I got from our friends Mike and Sandy, and they are starting to take off, which is really, really great, and starting to vine out. So that is good. Not too many weeds to speak of in this section of the garden. Brian has also taken on the tomatoes this year. These turkeys are something else. Fast forward to the asparagus beds. They hear me in here, so they're trying to figure it out. This is all of the asparagus that Brian transplanted. We see that we've missed a couple downstairs, so we have to, I got to actually get in and weed that. But yeah, so the asparagus looks really good. Oh my God, these guys are so funny. Okay, so yes, Brian has taken on the tomato trellising this year. It's actually one of his. He really enjoys it. So yeah, it's nice that he's actually doing a lot in the garden this year, more than me actually. I haven't been in here very much except to squish insects, and I should have been because there is a lot of good stuff going on. So, you know, maybe not being in here so often was kind of good because I'm seeing a lot of exciting things. So anyways, tomatoes are doing really well. He's got them trellised nicely and he's suckering them regularly. But I just noticed, so we only have 2 beds of tomatoes this year, which I think is the fewest I've ever grown in this garden since we've made it bigger. But I actually have tomatoes. So that's great. As per usual, my tags have worn off, and so I have no idea what variety that is, but it doesn't really matter because I eat some fresh tomatoes, but mostly I make it into stuff. So this year I have to focus on pizza sauce, pasta sauce, and salsa. Those are the big 3. What was the other thing I wanted to try and make? I wanted to try my hand at barbecue sauce, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. You're just singing your little heart out over there. All right, so at the end of the tomato bed, we have, these are my cucumbers. I started 3 cucumber plants and they are all doing quite well. They are also being ravaged by cucumber beetle, but whatevs. I still have a ton of pickles, so really I just grew these to make some fermented pickles, that's all. And then in the front of the bed, I've got some zinnias, which are beautiful. On the opposite side of the road, Scarlet Runner from seeds that I collected like 3 or 4 years ago. So that's really exciting. On this side of the road, we've got broccoli and cauliflower. So this broccoli I have to harvest. And then I left the plants actually to see if they would shoot something else out, but also because I feed the greens to the rabbits every night, I give them a snack. These are the cauliflower. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm looking for here. It's all leaf, and like I think the cauliflower head comes down there, but I don't see anything. So I guess I'm just gonna wait and see. It's a good experiment. And I started these from seed as well. So yeah, I just see like that. Like I don't see any cauliflower happening. Maybe it was too hot. Who knows? But it is what it is. At the end, a couple of volunteer sunflowers because I can't bring myself to cut all of them off. And I love sunflowers. We, I think, are going to have an abundance of sunflowers this year. Wait till I take you downstairs to the downstairs garden. I have 2 basil plants. I'm going to make some pesto with that tomorrow. That's usually the only thing I use basil for. If there's anything left over at the end of the year, I'm going to dry it. Sorry, I got a runny nose. I just worked out and I'm all sweaty and gross. Okay, so let's talk onions. Huge lunch bag letdown this year. The onions are. I got leek moth, and I don't know if this is the damage that it causes, but look at these things. So I came through about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and I cut all the tops off, all of the damaged sections, and they're just a hot mess. Like they're just horrendous. I'm really disappointed because I was really looking forward to growing onions this year, but honestly, you just have to let it go. And like, I just keep reminding myself I can buy them in the grocery store. So might have to buy onions in the grocery store this year. We'll see. We'll see what happens. These wrens are really doing it for me this morning. The garlic. I made pickled garlic scapes. And we are getting close, probably in a couple of weeks, to harvesting the garlic. I see the first leaf is already dying back. So you wait for at least 2 of the leaves to go brown at the bottom, these leaves. So I've got 1 for sure already. So I'll be harvesting those in a couple of weeks. And then the last bed here, we've got a couple of volunteer sunflowers, some potatoes that volunteered. I've got marigolds on the go. My 2 watermelon vines have finally started to vine out and do something. You guys, if I get 1 watermelon this year, I'm going to consider that a success because it has been so hard keeping these plants alive and pest-free, or like not being devastated by pests. I've already had to rip out 2 of my plants. What? Okay. Oh my gosh. Chicken. Okay. Let's have a talk. Chicken. This chicken has literally almost gone home with 3 people. It gets in the garden every day. It goes in every open door, shop, vehicles. If you come to my house and you leave your vehicle unlocked or you have a truck bed, this chicken, I call her Rogue. She just she's independent and she drives me bonkers because every day. Chicken, look. Come on. Out. No. Let me see if I can catch her. Oh my God, I can't catch her. Gonna have to chase her out of here. Anyways, okay, so yeah, if we get anything out of this bed, squash or otherwise, so these were some kind of, I think I got butternut in here and another cool kind, but like, I think we've got, I think it's called cucumber wilt virus. Yeah, like see here, see this? Like they're going all flaggy and I'm watering. So like if she hangs in there, it's so frustrating. Like this is why I can't come in here and look at this stuff too much, because it just makes me angry. Anyway, so this is my squash bed that I've really been just struggling. I've had to pull out a couple of plants and yeah, it is what it is. I really wanted to grow some squash this year and I thought we might have a better year as far as pests because we took a break last year, but it's just not the case. Let's get her out of here. Where is she? Oh, man. Let's go, Rogue. Hey, there's a volunteer that might not get eaten. Sometimes they don't. Alrighty. Come on, honey. Let's go. Oh, come on. Oh, I could have caught her right there. Come on. Come on. See, this is the tricky part because I got to open the door. Let's pick some of these for the doggos. I got to chase her out. Yeah, you stay in there. Yeah. No. Nope. Oh! I was so close. Out. Get out. Out. Watch out, Tula. Go on. Out. Oh, that was good. Decoy. Hi, friends. Are you having a good time? Now every time I see you, I got to count 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. Good turkeys. Also, letting them free range allows them to find shade, which is nice. We'll just stop quick here at the compost. So I've got this compost pile going. So I just try and keep it in the active stage. So I just keep turning it and keeping it in the active stage, and I turn it if it goes hot. But really, that's all I do. I'm not a diehard composter. I don't have time, but when I think about it, I check it. Okay, let us feast our eyes. on these beautiful hollyhocks. So these I got from Molly Star. These were the originals. So pretty. And then finally, my black ones. I'll take you over. So the ones by the outhouse. So I don't know if you knew that, but a long time ago, when most everyone used outhouses, they used hollyhocks to kind of show or plant around their outhouses. So I planted these last year, and typically hollyhocks tend not to bloom in their first year. But here's the outhouse. And look at all these. So we've got some Asclepias or milkweed in the back for the monarchs, but on the sides of the outhouse we have all of these beautiful hollyhocks. So it's pretty. Okay. We're going downtown to a hot mess town. Oh man, alive. Okay, so where are we at down here? I really wanted to try and grow a Three Sisters garden this year, but you know what? Like, one person and two people can only do so much. And so we really, Brian rototilled, and I seeded all of the seeds. So we planted corn, I planted Three Sisters, and I planted rows of pumpkins because Brian wanted to grow like field pumpkins this year, in hopes that we wouldn't have pest pressure, but it was so bad down here. So we bought all of this insect netting, and now I'm just afraid to take it off. But you know what? I might just like pull the trigger today and pull all of the netting off and just let these plants go, because the netting is now holding them down. So let me show you. So what I did was I planted around the perimeter of the garden. I planted giant sunflowers. So they're coming in like big time. They look pretty good. We have 4 rows of sweet corn, which looks like it's doing fairly well. Brian has been rototilling in between the rows just to try and keep the weed pressure down. I had every intention of mulching with composted hay or straw, but that didn't happen. I also had good intentions of wood chipping around the raspberry bushes with wood chips. That also didn't happen. And in between the pumpkin rows. So, and we didn't thin the corn either, so I don't know what's going to happen there, like if that's going to have an impact or not, who knows. But look at, so as these poor little plants were coming up, the striped cucumber beetles were literally just eating them. But see how, like, look, the netting is just holding them down. So I'm either, I gotta pick it up today, or I'm just gonna squish the plants, and that's no good either. So maybe I'm gonna do that first, because they need some relief. I'm hoping that it's gonna rain here in the next couple of days, because they also need water. So here is my Three Sisters, not experiment, I guess it could be an experiment. I really wanted this project to take off. So corn, good. Beans, good. Squash, caca. And the squash are supposed to suppress any weeds. And so that is not happening. Like here we've got a couple of squash, but most of them got eaten by the striped cucumber beetle. And I planted all my seeds. And the garden center didn't have any plants left over that I could find. And so we're going to have corn and maybe some beans. I guess better than the other Three Sisters I did. So that's good. We're getting better. But it is frustrating when you put so much time into something and it doesn't really produce. But that's okay. So hopefully we'll get some corn out of the deal. At least. We do have a thriving family of groundhogs down here. Oh, I also have potatoes in here. So that row there is potatoes, but I've done nothing over there either, as you can see. But like, this is what we're dealing with. Like, look at this poor plant. It's die. But I have to take off this netting because the beans gotta start doing something. So if the plants croak, they croak. Yeah. But these mounds are full of weeds too. So yeah, Brian put netting around, but they're covering the beans. And beans don't typically, touch wood, tend to have too many pests. It's usually just the squash. Yeah, so there we are. There you have it, folks. The as long as you get some food out of it, it's just my hope. Oh, here come my friends. Hey, you guys. This is a good spot to dust down in here. My hope is always to get food equal to the amount of effort that you put in. And to be honest, that is not always the case. No matter how hard you try and how diligent you are and how much you water and weed and try and control pests, sometimes it just is. And that's part of, I guess, letting go. But I'll tell you, farming is really hard work, not for the faint of heart. And if you do it as a hobby, that's one thing. But when you do it to, feed your family or feed other people, it is a lot of pressure. And I have to try not to put that pressure on myself, because that's when I get really down if things aren't kind of working the way I had planned. And so I've been listening to a lot of, podcasts and reading books about expectations, and the expectations that you set for yourself can often lead to disappointment. So trying not to set expectations for yourself, I think is important. It's good to have goals, but when you have a preset notion of what kind of success is going to look like and you don't achieve that, it can be disheartening. So, I think just trying to be neutral about what is going to happen is really great, and not putting too much pressure on yourself. So anyways, I hope you're all having a great gardening season. And if you're not, try not to worry about it. Support your local farmers and farmers markets and other people who are having more success than you. You'll have good years and you'll have not so great years. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. So I'm going to get working here and try to get these covers off and let these plants be free. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.